Okay.
Okay. What we discussed, Shariz, we were at chapter number 2, and we are discussing about microeconomics and the macroeconomics.
Yeah.
We were talking about the macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is the study of individual, household, and the firm behavior in a decision making and allocation of the resources. Whenever we are talking about at individual level, we consider as microeconomics factor, and whenever we talk about in a broader perspective, like the study of the whole economics, it comes under the heading of what? It comes under the heading of macroeconomics factor. We have some definition, we have some examples in the order to understand microeconomics and the macroeconomics more properly. If you look at the macroeconomic side, we have single market, like a milk. Now, we are not talking about the whole market.
You're not sharing your screen.
Sorry?
You're not sharing your screen.
Yes. We are, in microeconomics, we are talking about a very small scale. Like we are not talking about the whole market, we are just talking about one product from the market. It could be like a milk,
Sir,
it could be...
I can't see your screen, sir.
Okay, you can't see the screen. Okay, just give me 1 minute.
No.
Now, screen is visible?
Yes, now it is, sir.
So, whenever we talk about the one product from the market, it comes under the heading of microeconomics. And whenever we discuss about the whole population or the whole market or the entire economy, if this is the part of our discussions, that's mean we are talking about macroeconomic factors. Okay. Now, in terms of price, the price of the goods and the service, what does it mean? Now, in that or from the price point of view, Shariz, we are talking about a single price of the product or single service about any product or the price of any services. If we are talking about product or the services, that's mean we are just talking about an individual product and services. And if we talk about the price of the individual product and services, again it comes under the headings of what? It comes under the heading of microeconomic factor. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's move to the macroeconomic factor. Shariz, if you look at the macroeconomic sides, in the macroeconomic side, we were discussing about the price of goods and services. Now, if you look at the macro side, we are talking about the average price level in an economy. Whenever we discussed in the macroeconomics perspective, we discussed everything from the individual point of view. And when we discuss in the macroeconomic side, we are discussing about the market point of view. Okay, what is market? Market basically is the collection of individual, is a collection of consumers and the buyers and the sellers and the suppliers. The combination of all these factors that makes a market definition. Okay, so market is a platform that brings basically buyer and sellers together. So whenever we talk about average price level in an economy, now we are talking about economy, mean we are talking about in a broader perspective. Now that comes under the heading of what? It comes under the heading of macroeconomic factors. Are you getting my point? Now look at the point number 3, individual market demand or individual firm market supply. If you are talking about one firm, if you are talking about one human being, if everything which is linking with one person or the one identity or the one subject, that will come under the heading of microeconomic factors. And on the other hand, if we are talking about specific firms or specific demand or supply, we will link that particular factors to the economy, like total demand in an economy and the total supply in an economy. Now look at the microeconomic sides, the government intervention in the market, for example, cigarettes. What does it mean, Shariz? Government intervention in a market, for example, cigarettes.
So what does intervention mean?
Intervention means government involvement. The government involvement in the market. For example, cigarettes, you can see or you can read the both sides. Government intervention in the economy, for example, income tax. What does it mean? How you will explain government
Like
intervention in the micro level and at the micro level?
so the macro level is the tax you have to pay,
Okay, fine. I mean,
and then micro,
mhm,
like this, I don't know, like the supply or something.
not the spare something. Cigarette is easily available for you.
For me, yeah.
If government involved and they ban the cigarette, then it would be easy for you.
No.
Yes. Now you can see the government. If the government intervene in specific product, you being a single individual will be more concerned. Okay, like a cigarette.
Yeah.
And at macro level, now look, the government interventions from an individual point of view. The government is trying to influence you. They just banned the cigarette, and now you are going to influence by that action of the government. So when government
Yeah.
intervene in the macro level, what happened? Government intervene in the economy in the shape of income tax. They tried, if they want to influence the whole market, what they will do? They will increase the taxes. Everyone in the market will be
Yeah.
influenced. If government banned the cigarette, might be possible, if you smoke, you will be concerned. But from my point of view, who don't have any concern about the cigarette, will not be influenced as much as you can. But
Yeah.
if the government intervene at the macro level, everyone like you, me, and everyone will be influenced.
Yeah.
Okay. The last point we have, just to understand the point, reason for the difference in the worker wages, unemployment, and minimum wages. If I ask you, Sharif, just to elaborate these last line, reason for differences in worker wage at micro level and unemployment and the minimum wages at macro level, what does it mean?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
You can read the last point in the micro and in the macro side, and just explain what does both line means from the perspective of the micro and the macro factors.
Unemployment and minimum wages means like there's less workers and there's less pay.
Okay, fine. What about microeconomic side?
Reason for differences in workers' wages.
Look, Sharif, for example, we are talking about an individual point of view. If you have a person who is not in a position to get higher salary, you will talk about his lackness. For example, you may say that you don't have a proper communication, okay, you don't have a confidence, you don't have leadership skills. Everything I am talking about an individual perspective. Are you getting my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
But whenever I talk about economy perspective, that why economy is failed to give employment to the market, what you will say? You will say there is an employment in that economy, and because of unemployment, labor is unable to produce or to increase their wages. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, sir.
If I compare you with Hamza, I will tell you that you have this kind of a likeness and this kind of a strength, this kind of a likeness and this kind of a strength. I am simply talking about you. I am just talking about one man, an individual. But if somebody asks me that in Pakistan, in your age, why the young generation mostly fail, then I will not talk about you or one person. I will talk about the whole market. Are you
Yeah.
getting my point? Then I'll explain in that perspective. If I talk about you, that's mean I'm talking about from the micro level, and if I talk about like you and many other guys, that's mean now I am giving more expansions to my subject of concern. Now that's become macro factor. Is there any
Macro, yeah.
confusion you have between micro and the macro? Shadis, you can ask right now.
No, I get it.
Okay,
I get it.
perfect. Okay. Look, we have some theoretical point of view just to understand better what is microeconomics, the macroeconomics. That these slides will give you some of theoretical and some words to explain what is the microeconomics and the macroeconomics. So microeconomics is the study of individual markets and section of the economy rather than the economy as a whole. It examines the different choices of individual household and the firms. It examines what factors influence their choices. It examines how their decision affect the price, demand and supplies of the goods and services in the market. It examines how government influence the consumption and the production level. If we talk about the macroeconomics level, in that point of view, we will discuss about economic behavior and the decision making in the entire economy. If you look at, we said we are talking about some sections of the economy rather than economy as a whole. What we discussed in that definition, we said we are talking about the entire market rather than individual market. So it examines the role of the government in achieving economic growth, like human development. Look, Shariz, I'm not talking about your development, Shariz development. Here I am talking about human development. Mean like you, I have so many students like you. I have to develop them. Okay, so I broader the aspects, I broader my target. That comes into the heading of the microeconomics. So a human development through the implementation of the specific government policies like fiscal, monetary and the supply side. We will discuss it later. What does it mean, fiscal and monetary policy? We have these topics at the end of our subjects. Anyway, it examines the role of the government in achieving the price stability, low unemployment, stable, all these things which have a broader perspective, or you can say if you include more than one individual in your topics, that's become your macroeconomics. Are you getting my point, Charis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's discuss that how macro and micro affects the decision makers and their choice in the microeconomics. Okay, first we have basically three decision maker, Charis.
Yeah.
You can consider yourself as a consumer. You can consider yourself from seller point of view like a firm or the company, and you can consider yourself like a government. These are three parties which basically makes a decision about anything. Now we are talking about microeconomics factor, microeconomics point of view. Shariz, you just assume yourself as a consumer. Now see what kind of choices you can make. Okay, the first, which combination of the goods and services do they value the most? Can you give me the answer that what kind of good and services you may give the value, the most value you can give?
Me as a consumer?
Yeah, you have to answer me from the consumer point of view. You can consider yourself as a consumer.
Like the service.
Anything.
From a service perspective.
Could be like if you are ordering some kind of a food panda, you would say I am giving more priority to food panda. If you are using PC, if you are using mobile phone, you can give me anything from consumer point of view because you are going to consume them.
Okay, if I would want from services, I would want, if I was ordering food panda, I would want fast service. Okay. I'd want like respectful.
Like if you have options cheetah, food panda, and for example two and more other options you have, you are going to give more priority to food panda. Is that so? Okay.
Yeah.
The next point is how to respond to the change in the markets they consume.
Pardon?
You can read the point number 2. Can you give me the answer?
What do you mean by changes in the market?
What you are going to order from Food Panda?
Subway.
Subway. Okay. If
Yeah.
government increase the tax, for example, on Subway, the prices will be increased. Food Panda rates will be increased or not?
Increased, yeah.
Then what will be your reaction?
I'll get KFC.
You will get KFC. You are going to switch yourself.
Yeah.
Why you are going to switch yourself, Sharis?
Because there's better value in KFC.
You have a better value. Might be possible Subway as
Yes.
compared to KFC now becomes expensive for you. It means you don't have saving to order Subway. Okay, you don't have proper money to enough money to spend on Subways and all these kind of products. You are not in a position to going to buy Subway. Is that so?
Yeah.
So anything is change going outside specifically to the product which you give the priority. If any kind of a change occurs in that particular kind of a products, you being a consumer will be influenced. Are you getting?
Yeah.
So what you said, you have some kind of a combination of the goods and product, you give the more value, the most value. And if is there any change on these products, you will be influenced. Why? Because of your saving, your spending and your borrowing position.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point of view? So anything related to you becomes the microeconomic factor. Are you getting my point of view?
Sir, but what if I order from like Subway itself, like not Food Panda, and the delivery time was poor and the dude was like rude and stuff, and I ordered from KFC and I have a better experience.
Yes.
And it's not about the money then it's about the experience. Then what?
Any actions, if it is related to you, if you are is there any kind of a change outside? It could be positive, it could be negative. If you are going to influence, of course, if you are going to influence, what will happen? You will react on that particular change. If it is positive, you will say, okay, fine enough. Maybe you will be more loyal to specific product or the brand. And if change is negative, as you mentioned that you will going to switch your brand. Is that so or not?
Yes, sir.
If you are going to switch your brand, again, you are in a position to react on that particular change. Everything that related to you, that's mean we are talking about microeconomics perspective. Everything you are discussing right now, you are talking about what? You are talking about microeconomics perspective. You are talking about you. That's me. If this happened outside, I will react like that. If this is happening outside, I will react like that. You are talking about you, mean one person. So from a consumer point of view, you said everything. You are talking about consumer point of view. Mean you are talking about a microeconomic perspective. Okay. The next is firms. Now you have to explain firms from the consumer, not firms from the microeconomics point of view. Look, which combination of the goods and services to supply. Now you can consider yourself that you are the owner of, for example, Subway. So now you have a business. So you have specific kind of a product you supply to the market. Are you getting the point, Sharis?
Yeah.
Okay. How to best produce goods, services in the order to meet their objective? Usually profit maximization. You try your best to produce as much as qualitative and from the quantitative point of view in the order to maximize the profit. Of course, that will be your concern. Why you are doing business? Just to maximize the profit. Is that so or not? If you have, for example, 5 options, you are producing 5 products. You will try your best that my focus should be on 3 products that give me a maximum profit. Now you are talking about your supply, you are talking about company demand, you are talking about your profit, and if is there any change occurs outside of your company, you will certainly react on that. If you are a consumer, you will react, and if you consider yourself as a firm, Sharez, of course you will react on that. You will do or not?
Yeah.
Everything. Now you are talking about from the subway perspective, meaning you are talking about from a company point of view. Again, I am not saying that I am talking about, for example, KFC, for example, McDonald's, for example, Subway. I'm just talking about what? I'm just talking about Subway. Again, I'm talking about individual, one company point of view. Again, what it comes, Sharice, it comes under the heading of microeconomic. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, the point number 3, we have to discuss from the government point of view. Which policies will be most effective in addressing specific market failure? For example, Hamza, what market is failed in Pakistan right now?
What has failed in Pakistan?
Yeah, what market you think that, sir, this is nothing in Pakistan, specifically in that
Gaming.
Market? Sorry?
Gaming.
Gaming. Okay, if you are the part of the government and if you have authority, Shariz, what you will do?
Focus on that.
You will make some kind of a policies. You will try to bring investors from the outside. You will try to develop a gaming environment in Pakistan. You will give some kind of awareness to the young generation that you can entertain yourself by spending your time in these kind of activities. You will do or not?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to focus on, for example, gaming, sugar, petroleum, transport. No. You have plenty of options to do, but you are putting focus on just one market. Is that so or not? Yeah. If you are putting focus on just one market, at the end, we are talking about just one thing. Shari, is that so or not? Yeah. So if we are talking about just one point of view, that means we are talking about what? We are talking about